Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video, and in today's video we're going to be learning how to make this as a thumbnail for a montage or a live stream. You can customize it the way you want. You can use whichever character you feel like using, but I'm going to be using Viper, and it's pretty simple to make, but you just need a lot of PNGs, which will all be linked in the description below. Please do check it out. It's a drive file and you can download it and get all the assets that you need for the video. And let's get started. First off, we'll create a new canvas, 1920 by 1080, pretty common, everyone uses it. So once you create the new canvas, we will first import the background, which is going to be an image of the map icebox, and let's just resize it so that it fits the canvas. And this is going to be the image, the main background that is. And for the subject, I have a 3D render of Viper. You can use anything, but yeah, for this I'm going to use a 3D render. You can do this by yourself in Blender or just find it off the internet, but this particular PNG will be linked in the description. I'm gonna expand it a little so that she takes up the centermost part of the image, part of the canvas, and yeah, she is the main focus and the main subject. Okay, now moving on from here, what I'm gonna do is basically first add a few things. It'll look pretty bad at first, but once you color correct it and add gradient maps, it'll look absolutely beautiful. With this is kind of like a paper cut texture with anime lines, and I'm gonna give it a different blend mode, that is whichever matches the most. And I think soft light for now matches the most, so that you can see the background and still see this texture. We will later improve it by adding gradient maps. So now I'm gonna add another texture, and these are just like comic book type of dots, and I'm just gonna reduce the opacity of it a little bit so that it's not too intrusive. We can always mess with it later. For now this is fine. I'm gonna select the layer under the subject and add a gradient map, and this will completely change how the image looks. And now we can mess about the with the anime lines and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. This is what I wanted, with a green and black combination gradient map. And now what I'm gonna do is mess about with the blend mode of this. This gives a like total comic book feel, but right now I'm not looking for that. If you want that effect, you can go for hard mix, but let me just check out other stuff, what actually I can do here. Yeah, okay, so this is the type of blend mode I wanted. I just lighten the background with the anime lines, and these dots I just decrease the opacity of the dots. So yeah, let's move on. I'm gonna add one more texture, and this is like a paper crumble kind of an effect. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. I'm just gonna expand it a bit so that it fills the screen a little bit, and even rotate it. So you can do this the way you like it, and then eventually just change the blend mode of it. I don't want it too much, it to be visible too much, but I just want it to be there, but not just take the focus of the main character. I think this is pretty good for now. Next, what we're gonna do is basically add a gradient map for Viper herself, and then completely you can either desaturate her or add a gradient map. I think what I'm gonna do is create a clipping mask. So it's basically desaturating her, and I think the opposite. Yep, better. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight her green tones, like this Viper logo of hers and her vest. We're gonna give it a little bit of green highlights. We're gonna do that a bit later. For now, what we're gonna focus on is putting the Ascendant logo over her, like it's actually getting projected. So I would keep it about this size, and then add a skew to it so that it's kind of like tilted towards her, giving it a more 3D effect. That's what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, this is perfect. I feel this is completely fine. Now what we're gonna do is give it a outer glow. Yep, good enough. And maybe give it a drop shadow to see if it works. Bit of distance so that you actually feel like it's coming out of her chest and projecting. Use the opacity a bit, and yeah, this is completely fine and looks really attractive. Once you see it like zoomed out, and the chest, I mean the 3D logo on the chest looks really good from afar. So this looks really good right now. Now we're gonna focus on Viper herself and try to give a gradient map so that these things have a green tint to it, even her logo, a proper green tint. Now what we're gonna do is basically add another gradient map, and this time we're gonna go for all green on both sides. First we're gonna color match. What you have to do is copy this color and then paste it here on the same thing. You're gonna get the same color. Okay, then go to select and now go to color range. And what you're gonna do is, so now you can see what is selected here, and you can either decrease it or increase it. For now, I just want to focus on the hotspots that are these, and only these get the color green completely. So these are the hotspots you can see here, and press OK. Now what I'm gonna do is move this right above, and as you can see now it has a glowing green to it, and everything else is desaturated. We can do the same thing for the lips and the closed eyes. It would look absolutely amazing. And if you feel like the black color is blending through the background a lot, don't worry, we're gonna add a little bit of glow to Viper herself right there, so it's all gonna get fixed. Just trust the process and keep following what I'm doing right now. So now that we have the green color on the Viper vest and the ascendant green glow, so now we focus on the face. So what we have to do is basically first release these clipping masks, if you want to add another gradient, that is, and then disable these layers. Click on the Viper subject and then add another clipping mask. Sorry, gradient map and not clipping mask. And I'm still going for the same green, and on both the ends of the gradient, and then adding color range to it. And I'm trying to focus on the lips and the eye shades, and you can increase this to an amount you are satisfied with, but it doesn't look really great right now as it is. So what I'm gonna do is maybe give the face a little bit of a glow, and you can do that by this is perfect, but I don't like this color. I'm just gonna go with white Yep, it might look a little scary right now, but don't worry. Once we fix it in post, we can add a little bit of this is a lot more perfect. We're gonna add soft light, and then we're just gonna create a clipping mask. Same thing goes to all the other layers. Clipping mask. And now the face has a little bit of more white texture to it, which kind of looks scary. Yeah, it does. But I think once we add some green elements to the eyes and the lips, it will look a lot better. So yeah, moving on, I'll do that later. So we can continue by adding a little bit of glow in the background, and you can do this by basically creating another layer just below the main subject layer. And what you do is take the brush, click on Alt and then click on left click, and then move your mouse to the top, which will decrease the brush hardness, and then you can go move your mouse to the left to increase or decrease the size of the brush. And now what we're gonna do is, as the green color is already selected, we're gonna add a little bit of glow to the background, so that Viper has the subject can separate herself from the background. That's about it. That's why you add a glow. And yeah, this is how the subject has a glow. So once we've done that, I feel like there's not much going on apart from there's a lot of textures in the background. So what we're gonna do is import a little bit of a stock kind of rays, you can say, jolts of lightning, you can even call it that. So we're gonna use this, and then we're just gonna give it an effect of color overlay to white, and that's about it. So we have this effect, and we can either decrease the opacity if you want to a little bit. So this kind of gives you a smoky effect, and we're gonna copy this layer multiple times and just spread it around the image. So yeah, we kind of added a drop shadow, and the last thing I'm gonna add is the smoke right behind her. You can either skip this, or you because if you feel the glow is fine, you can skip the smoke itself, but I'm actually adding a color overlay of white color, and to see what happens. Yeah, I've increased the size, and I feel we can even increase the size of Viper herself. For that, select all the gradient maps with the subject, because you've already added the gradient maps, and if you don't select the gradient maps and just increase the size of Viper, the gradient maps all stay the same and it messes up your image. So what you're gonna do is select all the layers and then increase the size together, so that all the gradient maps and everything gets expanded. And maybe resize thing, and this looks a lot better. Yep. So yeah, let's continue. So now we're gonna add text, and for the face you can add some green glow to the eyes. I'll show you how to do it. So what you're gonna do is take create another layer above this. Yeah, create another layer. You can take the pen tool, and then what you do is select the area. So once we did the selection, what we can do is fill path, and now you can add the foreground color, which is already there, or you can choose the color manually, but I'm already adding the foreground color. As you can see, it's green, so it's foreground color, and press OK, and this is how you fill the foreground color. Do the same for the other eye as well. It doesn't have to be a proper selection. You can just almost get it right and it's fine. And we're gonna do subpath, same foreground. Yeah, so now that we have selected the eyes, what we can do is basically give this an outer glow for the eyes itself. And we don't want too much of an outer glow, but it would look nice. So now that we added a glow to the eyes, we can do the same thing even for the vest itself by just selecting the gradient map and then giving it a bit of outer glow, not too much. If you give it too much, it would look weird, so we're just giving a bit of outer glow. It's there, but it's not too intrusive. So that's how you can give it a outer glow. So now that we have given the eyes and the rest of the parts the outer glow, I feel we have almost completed, and it's time for us to add the text. So for the text, I'm gonna give it close eyes. This is the thumbnail I kind of made for my montage. So the montage name is close eyes, so that's what I'm gonna go for. And for the text, what I'm gonna go for is a bit of like a poster type of text that I'm going for. So it's kind of funky but not too much. So this is the type of text I'm going for. You can choose anything you want to. So yeah. So yeah, that's how you get the effect and the thumbnail like this. So this part was pretty easy. It might look intimidating to do, but once you get it done, it's actually not that hard. So you guys can try it yourself. There's a lot of layers involved, I get it, but it's pretty easy to recreate if you watch this video completely. And yeah, so with that, just export the file the way you want it, and we are done. So you can either export it in the form of PNG or JPEG. PNG basically increases the size of the image to a lot more, and it's PNG is basically used for transparency, which this image doesn't have. So you can just export it in JPEG format, and you can choose the canvas size and whatever, export and just save it. So I already have made one, so I'm not going to save it. So I think we've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any doubts, please leave it in the comment below. All the PNGs that I've used in this image will be available in the description to a drive file, and I'll see you in the next one. And do suggest what you want to see. Bye bye.